So Diddy's documentary came out, and as a lot of people know, Justin Bieber is associated with Diddy, but what they don't know is Justin Bieber is a miniature Diddy. Today we're going to be reading a thread brought to you by CMBY and Selena. They are account on X, and although they do primarily post about Selena, they also drop deep dives about Justin, Haley, a lot of stuff exposing the industry. The untold story of Justin Bieber's essay allegations, Danielle, Kadi, and the $20 million lawsuits. Now, at one point I did feel bad for Justin Bieber, but sadly, sometimes a victim that gets no help turns into a predator. Justin Bieber recently almost got kicked off Twitch because he had Kyle Massey, or however the fuck you say his name, Corey in the house, got accused of touching women, got kicked off Disney Channel, a whole bunch of bullshit. Justin Bieber was kicking it with him, knowing that he's a nasty ass person. Twitch told Justin Bieber, if you don't stop platforming these child-liking ass men, then we'll unplug the cord. And that's all alleged, just like how they allegedly say you don't like your wife, you punk ass little boy. I haven't liked you since you said one less lonely nigger. Now, when all this Diddy stuff came out, Justin Bieber was posting statements and he was seeming depressed and he was seeming sad. A lot of people jumped to conclusions and they thought that it was just because he was a victim. No, turns out that this nigga was throwing Diddy parties. I think he was scared that they were going to find out about his.
So Justin Bieber, Friday night, threw this huge party at his Calabasas home, and I'm talking tons of his friends were there, a bunch of celebrities were also showed up to this party, but here's the deal. He made every single person associated with this party sign a confidentiality agreement. Meaning they cannot tweet about it, they cannot take photos, they can't Facebook, they can't even really talk to their friends about this party because it was so epic, they had to sign this agreement, and if they did talk, they were on the hook for $3 million. Listen, that's actually a pretty good deal because
that's right, around 2013, 2014, y'all ass was throwing parties, having everybody sign NDAs, you had naked strippers. They even caught y'all ass at the club with a flashlight, shining a flashlight on the girls, and when you would do that, your entourage will get the girls that you picked and bring them back to you. There's even allegedly pictures of the girls that you picked entering the hotel. I digress though, y'all. I came to read y'all a thread. On June 20th, 2020, a woman on Twitter identifying herself as Danielle accuses Justin of essaying her on March 9, 2014. She says she felt encouraged to come forward after another identified as Gabby publicly made her own essay allegations against the actor Angel Elagarte, help me. Now this is the tweet she posted. She said, "My name is Danielle. On March 9, 2014, I was essayed by Justin Bieber. After hearing about Gabby's story with Untold, it gave me courage to share mine, so this is a thank you to Gabby. My name is Danielle, and for personal reasons, I will not be stating my last name. I am posting this anonymously because I am not ready to come forward and reveal myself. If he comes across this, you know who I am, and If he comes across this, you know who I am, and I know you remember me. I hope your life is hell after this, and I hope you drown in guilt. On March 9, 2014, I was essayed by Justin Bieber. Justin was with his former ex-girlfriend Selena Gomez for a concert in Houston, Texas. Me and my other two friends heard Scooter Braun was having an event at Banger's Sausage House and Beer Gardens that Saturday night in Austin. Performers like Cody Simpson, Tori Kelly, The Wanted, and more were attending the event, and then later that night, Justin Bieber surprised his audience with about 100 people at a bar and performed a few songs that he publicly dedicated to Selena. My friends and I were enjoying ourselves the entire night. A man then approached me and my friends and asked us if we would like to wait after the show to meet Justin. Of course we said yes. My friend and I thought it was strange at first and sketchy, but as promised, we all waited after the show because we were his fans. Justin came up to us, we took some pictures, and we chatted for about 20 minutes. For legal reasons, I will not be sharing the photos. Justin and some other man who appeared to be his friend invited us over to Four Seasons Hotel. Once again, we said yes. We didn't think anything of it. Fast forward to arriving at the hotel, Justin's friend brought my two friends to a room and he took me to another room. Justin had made me agree not to say anything to anyone or I could get in serious legal trouble. He asked for my phone to put it on the charger. I guess it was just an excuse for him to take it away from me. He then asked me to join him in bed. That's when I asked myself, how in the world is this normal? I'm in a hotel room with the Justin Bieber. Then I began to think this was suspicious and I asked him where Selena was to make a conversation. He told me not to worry about it and that she'll come up to the room later. I kept asking questions to add to our conversation, but then he leaned in to kiss me. I was shocked. I was taken away by what he just did. I figured it was a sign to make me shut up, so I kissed him back. I thought to myself, I had a few drinks, and hopefully he can tell by the way my breath smells like alcohol, and nothing will happen next. I knew he was with Selena, but I thought that this is what every typical pop star that wanted other female attention did because their current significant other wasn't enough. Typical Hollywood stuff. Keep in mind this was 2014. Around the time where he was out of control, our small kisses then turned into a steamy makeout session. He had then pushed me down onto the bed after 10 minutes of sitting up, got on top of me, started kissing me down to my neck, made his way down to my stomach, and he found my jeans, unbuttoned them, removed them, and started tracing my underwear with his fingers. My thoughts then started to roam around my head. I started to second guess myself. I started asking, what about Selena? Did I consent to this? How would she react if she finds out? Where are my friends? How is this normal and okay? I told him that this was going too far and that we should stop because I needed to find my friends. And most importantly, I felt guilty about Selena. That's when he told me, relax, they're all okay, and he pulled my underwear down, unbuckled his pants, pulled his underwear down, grabbed the bed covers, then threw it over us, and his body was on top of mine, skin to skin. I was very uncomfortable. I felt myself starting to hyperventilate. I told him to get off me because I was starting to worry about my friends. He went in further detail about what happened to her. I'm not going to read that here, but keep in mind, she posted this in 2020. She came out and she said, fast forward to last year, I finally decided to speak up about it. She told her close friends, she told her family, and she says if you're a victim, don't be scared to speak up. Now, that was a story from Danielle, and keep in mind, that was all alleged. Nothing is fact, and it was all for educational purposes. I was just reading somebody's story. Now, after this tweet goes viral, a lot of Justin's fans were calling for Selena to speak up on Justin's behalf and clear up his name. The main person that can clear this up is Selena, but she never would. Now it's time to speak up and give my respect, sis. The people were calling for Selena to speak out. Now, sadly, they said no media outlet picked up the allegations, nobody else reported on it, and everything stays suspiciously calm. Shortly after, another woman named Kadi comes out accusing Justin of essaying her on May 5th, 2015. Now, Kadi posts and says, I believe Danielle, I'm a victim of Justin Bieber too. Now, she wrote her story in 2020. I'm going to skim and summarize through this because I do not want it to get taken down, and I want this to be able to spread on all platforms of social media. People need to know who this 30-year-old but looking 60, wrinkled, nasty, skin falling off the bone ass little boy Justin Bieber really is. On May 4th, 2015 evening, I went to meet and possibly get a picture with Justin Bieber like any other believers when he was in New York. Now, they waited from that evening to early morning May 5th. She says she met Mikey, Justin's bodyguard, outside the hotel, and he found her attractive and gave her his phone number without taking hers. She says she stayed there waiting and hoping that Justin would come out so all the believers that have been waiting outside the hotel can get pictures, but he didn't. Later, around 2:30 a.m., she said she was invited by Mikey Arana to Justin Bieber's hotel, and the Mikey Arana, I'm guessing, is Justin Bieber's bodyguard or was his bodyguard. They were at Longham Hotel. There was 5 girls, including herself. Out of the 5 girls, there was one girl that sat closer to Justin, whose name was Ariana, and 3 other boys. 3 other boys. One of them was named Kyle Massey. The other was a hairstylist named Florida, I believe. I introduced myself and started socializing with everybody, and then I jokingly started talking in French to Bieber. As some of you already know that he could speak French. As some of you already know, he knows a little French because he's from Canada. We're having a conversation. He said he couldn't hear me clearly because I was standing a little far, and he asked me to come closer. I started getting closer. He grabbed my hand and dragged and pulled me over to him. He was sitting on a couch, so I fell on his chest. I started getting up. When we locked eyes, he kissed me and touched my butt while asking if it was real. I said yes, stopped his hands, and then got up. I went to the restroom. He came behind me and followed me to the restroom and locked the door. She says, what's going on? Why did you lock the door? He said, I'll tell you. He started kissing her, touching on her body, caressing her. And I'm going to stop the story there. Unlike Danielle, Kadi was not anonymous, and she shared screenshots of her and Justin Bieber's bodyguard texting. I'm going to put the screenshots up. And clearly something happened to her. She says, I don't know what to do. And she said they wouldn't even let her out the room. She texts Ariana. She says, nice meeting you. Now, Justin Bieber's fans started trying to dig up Kadi's old tweets, and they also found out that she posted a story about what happened to her on Wattpad as a fanfic. She also apparently made a video about meeting Justin Bieber in 2014, so we'll watch that.
We'll start with the one that I've met first, which was Justin in 2014, right? It was in September 2014 when I used to live in New York. And the picture, I'm going to put the link down there, because I don't know how to edit and put the picture in the video yet. So I'm going to be putting all the pictures down there. And so I'll tell you about that day. It was September 15, 2014, right? It was 15th of September 2014 when I was in New York. I literally moved from Oklahoma to New York just like a few days. And that's when I learned that Justin was there. And I was like, oh my God, you have to meet Justin. I've never met him before. So, and he's been my favorite for the longest. So I was like, I have to. And then, as I understand on Twitter, a believer, so I went and I asked, anybody knows where he is? And as you know, a believer, some of them are really, really stuck up bitches. They wouldn't tell me. I had one of my friends, and her name is Salma, as I remember. And I DM'd her, and she's like, oh my God, I would love to let you know where he is, because that would be really cool if you meet him finally, And she was not even in New York, but she still helped me, and she told me where he was. And that was, guess what? In New York City, the hotel is called Langham Hotel. Funny, that's the same hotel where the next year we met again. Anyways, so I went there and I was waiting. It was raining, cold and everything. I waited for the longest you could ever imagine. And that's the first time ever me waiting for somebody that is not part of my family. Anyways, so I waited there, and then he came in, he stopped, and well, he was in his car. He didn't get out. That's how this picture is, you know. So he didn't get out of the car. Anyways, so he was in his car, and everybody was like getting their chances and stuff like that. And I went there. I was like, oh yeah, hi Justin, my name is Kadi. And he was like, hi Kadi, what's up? Oh, and then he kissed me here. I was like, I lost that video, but I still have the pictures. So that was the first person that I met, okay?
The insufferable Justin Bieber fans were challenging what Kadi said in her story, so she was going back and forth with them on Twitter for a while. We're not going to go through all these screenshots on this video, but now to discredit Danielle, a lot of Justin Bieber's fans went on Twitter and they started making up fake stories about SA allegations against other celebrities. They would let these posts go viral, and then they would break the news to everybody that they were fake, and they would say, see how easy it is to lie? While all this is going on, 2 more people come out on Reddit and they share their stories involving SA and Justin Bieber and his entourage. Around this time is when Justin Bieber was having them Diddy parties. We're going to call them the Bieber parties. Now, this article about one of Justin's parties says there was no clothed females. The females that were clothed felt uncomfortable because of all the unclothed females, so they got unclothed. They say Floyd Mayweather was there, Chris Brown, T.I., Trey Songz, Snoop Dogg. Why were all these grown-ass men hanging out with Justin Bieber in 2014 with naked girls at a Diddy party? Fucking didlets. Here's a tweet about Justin Bieber being at the club with the flashlight. He shines the flashlight on the girls, allegedly, and when he shines the flashlight on the girls, his entourage goes and gets the girls that he picked, and they go back to the hotel.
Very discreet about it, was partying with his friends. They handpicked 3 different strippers to come to their hotel room, party with them, and when the women entered the room, we're being told by our sources that they had to leave their cell phones, they had to sign the confidentiality agreement. We do not know how far they went with these strippers. We do know, however, that Carolina definitely agreed to take that photo with Bieber and Khalil. All of that was consensual. Clearly, they were having a good time. So if you look, she does have the little Playboy tattoo.
In 2013, Justin Bieber also allegedly got identified by his tattoo trying to sneak out of a brothel covered by bedsheets while on tour in Brazil. Nasty. This woman asked Justin Bieber on Twitter and says, thanks Justin Bieber for the fresh dollar bills. In 2013, one of the people in Justin's entourage repeatedly exploited preteens by asking them to twerk for him under the hashtag #TwerkForFredo. Basically, he said he wanted to see the kids shake some ass and he'll follow them back. What the fuck? Danielle comes out again a couple months later after her first post, and she says Justin Bieber is not innocent. Justin Bieber is a rapist. June 22nd, 2020, Scooter Braun allegedly offered Danielle hush money. I did not expect this to be this long, so if you guys want a part 2, comment and let me know and I'll make a part 2. Justin Bieber, you are a sick individual and I don't think you should get away with none of the shit that you've done. Keep in mind, I want to say again, everything in this video is alleged. I'm reading this from a thread and it's all story. It's for educational purposes. I am not stating any of this as fact, as I am reading somebody's story that posted this as public information. If you like to show some love and support, I would greatly appreciate it if you hit the like and follow button for me.